Hello, my friends. I'm John, and today I'm going to be reviewing Mile 81 by Stephen King. So, just as like a kind of quick thing at the beginning, it's a good book. You can go read it really quick. If you're like stuck at the airport, flight's been delayed, you got like 2 hours or something, I don't know. Read it. Okay? Super short. It's like 50 pages. But anyway, so even before that, spoiler alert, I'm going to be saying what happened in the book, okay? It's a review. It happens. And so, there's this kid, right? He's like 10, and his brother won't let him be in his, like, gang because he's like, his brother or something is supposed to take care of him. And they play this thing called Paratroopers from Hell, where they're on their bike, right? And there's this, like, cliff thing, and they're all just like, fuck my life, I'll drive off the cliff, hop off my bike, and land that thing of sand. Fuck yeah! So, that's what they would do. And he wanted to do that, but he couldn't. So, he's like, fuck all them, I'll go to this rest station at Mile 81. So, he's on his way over there, cause he's heard, like, these rumors about that place, cause it's where the big kids go to, like, bone and drink and shit. And he comes across a fence. He's like, oh shit, how am I gonna do it? I can't cut it, but it's already cut. Because that's how the big kids went over there. So he crawls through the fence, goes through. There are all these, like, beer bottles and, like, crack pipes and stuff everywhere. And he finds a half-empty bottle of vodka. And he's like, fuck yeah, I got this tonight. And he continues, and, like, he gets there, and it's all, like, fucked up, and it's, like, locked. So he's like, fuck, how did they get in here? And so he, like, walks around and sees, like, this, like, wedge in a door to keep it closed. So he pulls it out, and he can open the door. So he walks in there, and it's all, like, gross and shit, and there's, like, pot smoke, and, like, cigarette smoke, just barf. And, like, there are mattresses, and they have all these stains on it and shit. And he's like, I'm gonna be a big kid. So he takes, like, 5 swigs of the vodka, and somehow in, like, 3 minutes, he's just all drunk off his A. Because that's how it works. And he gets to a point in there where there's, like, a Justin Bieber on there, like a poster thingy, and darts, because it was used as a dartboard. It's like his eyes are 25, his nose was like 15, his mouth was like 10, and he would like throw darts, and like when he was sober, he got like a score of like 125, and when he was drunk, he missed all but one shot, and he ended up getting like kind of tired or something, ended up sleeping, and this kid can't like handle it, I guess. He's just passed out, and after he passes out, this old rusty like Ford or Chevy, and it's all muddy, all the windows are curved up, goes through like, because the Mile 81 pit stop thing, mile marker, whatever, rest stop, that's what it's called, is all like fucked up, and it's like shut down, because they couldn't afford it anymore or some shit. So, the thing, and they have like these orange barriers to stop people from going in there, and so this just like goes through the barriers and lands like right there, and it's kind of weird, and like it just stops, and the door like creaks open, no one gets out. So then all the chapters are kind of like divided up into like different people. So the first dude is this religious dude who was like really bad, and then he turned really good. Now he's like a really good Samaritan. He pulls over, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not stupid. I don't know who's in this car. I don't know what the fuck they'll be in there. I'm gonna take my phone." So he takes his phone, and he like goes there and he's like, "Hey, dude, what's up? Why you here?" And it doesn't answer. So he like tries opening the door to see if anyone's hurt, and first he's like, he couldn't open the door because it wouldn't move. And then he's like, my hand starts hurting really bad. And he looks down. and he's like, the dough handle is eating my hand, like hardcore. Like all my fingers were gone, it's eating my palm, and then pretty much the car like pulls him in, and he gets eaten, and his wedding ring falls off, and his phone is cracked because he was grabbing it real tight with the other hand, and he drops it, and he dies. That's the end of him. Fuck it, next person. So, the next couple, well, person, ain't a couple yet, and she is like this horse lady or something, and she's a good Samaritan because she comes from a town in the south with like 1,000 people, and she's like, oh, I help all my people, like all my neighbors, all my buddies, I'm gonna help this dude. So she gets out of the car, and she sees the wedding ring and the phone on the ground, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck's up, could it be an accident? So she walks up with her phone on 911. And before she gets called, she doesn't want to call him. Be like, oh, wait, nothing wrong. I just waiting your time. And so she walks up, and like she looks in, and she thinks she sees like a drop of blood on there, but she's not sure. It could be mud. Car's all muddy, shit. And she like walks up there and kind of looks at it for a while. Then she bends over to look at it, and like a little tip of her skirt touches the car, and it yanks her in. But not like in the car. She's kind of like against the car, or it starts like nomming on her. Like, oh, mama car, nom, nom, nom. And the book says it like crinkles up like a fist, and then like just engulfs the person, and then just pops back into place like a tennis ball sound thing. And then shit. Fuck yeah. So after she's all like eaten, the horse is like, nyah! Cause she's a horse lady. She's got a house and a trailer connected to her car. And a few minutes later, another car passes by, and this time it's a family. A wife, a husband, and 2 kids. One's a boy, one's a girl. And they recognize the trailer thing because earlier she let the kids pet her horse. So they see the cone she put out because it's a big trailer. She doesn't want anyone hitting the horse. And, oh, they're in this. It's like, oh, she's broken down. We gotta help her. So they walk over, and no one's there. No one's in any of the 3 cars. It's all confusing. So they walk over there. Wife's like, no, don't go over there. Dude's just like, fuck you, bitch. I'm a man. And he walks over there, doesn't touch the car, doesn't do nothing. He just like starts walking away because he doesn't like what he sees. He's like, I'm gonna call the police, have them get over here ASAP. And as he walks away, the wife's like, yeah, yeah. That voice like, yeah. Well, the car, she's doing that because the car is like getting bigger, and it's gonna like pounce on the dude. And he like gets bigger, and she's like screaming and pointing. He turns around, he's like, ah, and the car like bites him. And the door just like slams his head in there, and like crack. And the wife is like, oh, I gotta help him. Runs over, grabs his leg, tries to pull him out, and the door just opens a little bit, and his like limbs are all flailing, but he's dead. Cause the book said like sometimes if you're hung, like you get hung, and then your limbs start flailing. So I guess that's true. It's by Stephen King. And so that happens, and she starts freaking out and accidentally touches the door, and it pulls her hand in. It's like her arm's like this far in the door, and it's like being like eaten or whatever by that monster car. And the kids are just freaking out because their parents are dying, and they're just watching it from the car. And she ends up, and both of them, car crunches up like a fist, and then pops back out like a tennis ball, and it's just done. And this entire time, the kid from the beginning is just passed out on those dirty mattresses, the dirty stains, that grotesque mild 81 rest station thing. And then he like kind of wakes up and he's like, oh dude, I've got such a hangover. It's been 2 hours and I had 3 sips, holy. And he hears screaming, and it's the kids, and he looks out and he's like, he just sees a car, he sees 4 cars, one's muddy, one's a Prius, one's an Explorer, and one's got a trailer. And he's like, shit, what the fuck happened here? And he doesn't get out because he was drunk. He's afraid he'd get in trouble. And the little girl from the back street, like, I'm gonna be a big girl now. Walks over, grabs the phone, calls 911. Operator's like, hey, what's up? And she says, like, bad cop ate my parents. And operator's like, stop messing with me. I'm gonna call a police officer. He's gonna go and spank you for messing with us. And then she's just like, no, my parents are dead. And he's like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? She's like, no, I gotta go, bad car. And hangs up and drops the phone and runs away. And now they're on like the side of the highway, and there's 2 little kids. Like, I think the oldest one's like 10, and they're just there and they're scared. And the other dude's just watching from the inside. And then the next person is a cop, and he's on his iPad while he's driving because he's being a good dude, following all the laws he's supposed to enforce. And he's playing Words with Friends, and he's trying to think of a word he can use to win the game. And he gets a call on the radio. It's like 2 kids say the parents are dead, side of the highway. He's like, shit, I got this. So he drives up there. He's like, hey, I'm a police officer. What the fuck happened? They're like, bad car ate my parents. And then he's just like, yeah, well, no, it didn't. It's a car. And he's like, no, don't go there. Don't touch it. Never touch it. So he's like, okay, stay here, get in the back of my car, you'll be safe. So closes the door, and he's like, if anything happens to me, grab this radio, hit the button, and say, thirsty. Thirsty means something bad has happened, and I need more people over here. Stat. And he goes to the car, takes his rifle, and he's like, get out of the car, niggas. And the door just opens like 6 inches. You can see in. He doesn't like it because it looks like the mud was on there deliberately. And he's like, that's grab the door, and she's like, wait. Kid said, don't touch it. I'm not going to touch this shit. Takes the rifle, tries to open the door. Rifle just gets like stuck to it. And he's like, fuck that. And it tries like pulling the rifle, but he doesn't let go. Because the first thing they tell you, never let go of your gun. Never ever let go of your gun. So he doesn't let go, and it like yanks him toward there, and he gets eaten like everybody else. At this time, the drunk ass kid over there walks out and is like, hey little kiddies, you gotta walk toward me. I just saw what the fuck happened. You've seen it too. We gotta get together and be safe. And they're like, no, we can't. It's big and scary. We can't walk. It's like, walk around it. So they walk around, taking like the biggest circle they can. They get together. And that time, after they already said thirsty like 70,000 times to the radio, kind of forgot that part in the order of operations right here. But that happens, and they go over there, meet with that other kid, and they're like there, and another cop in the siren, whatever, from a distance starts coming, and he's like, they're not going to believe us, more people are going to die. I've got a magnifying glass, which is some reason he has. And he goes, I'm going to try and burn the car like this. So she's like, no, be careful, the tire melts. Because that happens too. Like the tires turn all liquidy and try and pull you toward it. And so he goes over there with the magnifying glass, and he's like within arm's distance, and he does that like thingy with the sunlight, and it makes it burn like a really small hole. And so he does that, and it starts burning in the car. And, like he tries, the tire starts melting. It's like crawling toward him. He's like freaking out. He's trying to do it. And cop pulls up and he's just watching like, what the fuck is this kid doing? He's trying to burn a car with a magnifying glass. And he's doing it. And a flame pops up. And it just engulfs the car. It just disappears. Just like that. Everyone in there just gone. And police officer's like, the fuck just happened? Then the kids go over there. And he's like, no, I can't go over. I'm drunk. I got whiskey breath. Whiskey dick. Beer goggles. Shit. Walks over there. And he's just like, I just won't breathe in his face. Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna report this. Story ends. Whole book. 50 pages. Pretty good. Go read it. Yeah, kind of weird, especially the ending. Kind of it wasn't awesome at the ending. The ending really sucked in my opinion. It's kind of like he burns a car, story ends. Bad ending. Straight up. Bad ending. And, so yeah, I'd go get the book. Google Play Books, whatever. Barnes and Noble shit. Kindle. Go do that shit. And thanks for watching. I'm gonna see if I might do more of these. Probably won't release them too often because books take time to read. And they're usually really long. This one, because I read it literally last night at like 3 a.m. because I was kind of bored. I'm like, hey, I can get a book. So I downloaded the book, and I say it was worth it. So go read that, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. Anything you do to help me, I really appreciate. So I'll see you guys next time.